Merhaba Oyungezerler. Şu anda E3 öncesi ilk röportajımızı yapmak için Ubisoft ekibinden Alex Emancio ile birlikteyiz. Ubisoft'un otel odasındayız aslında. Daha E3'e 2 gün var. Bize özel bir röportaj vermeyi kabul ettiler. Thank you, Alex. So, you are the creative director of Revelations, and what do you think you hit an authenticity level about Istanbul, because we are from Istanbul and we are not sure how authentic was the Rome in Brotherhood and Assassin's Creed 2, but for Istanbul, did you do research on just today's Istanbul or the past versions in 15th century?
We did both, actually. We present day Istanbul, we always travel to the cities that we are creating in Assassin's Creed. In the past, we've been credited with creating very authentic cities. Some of our cities from Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, or I think Assassin's Creed 2, are actually used in some schools to teach about how the cities were built back then. So our cities are quite authentic. So for Istanbul, it's no different. We sent 2 teams to Istanbul today to take pictures, to get a feeling of the city, right? There's some things you can get from pictures, but to really feel the actual feeling of the city, you need to send people over there to actually live there. We also have some historical researchers that do a lot of work for us. They provide a lot of details about the past, about how the city was back then, not only culturally but architecturally. And then we, give ourselves a little bit of leeway in terms of how we adapt just to make it work for the game. But our goal is always to create the most authentic possible cities.
Okay. And when did you decide the conclusion of the Assassin's Creed first trilogy will be in Istanbul? Was it planned before Brotherhood, or was it an actual? Have you come up with the idea along the way?
The storyline for Istanbul is actually probably 2 years old. It's probably the same time as Brotherhood was being created.
Even before Brotherhood.
Yeah, it was about the same time, I guess, that we knew that Istanbul would be the sort of the important part for Ezio's sort of inner journey.
Actually, we are near the time that everything comes together in the story. December 2012. The apocalypse will happen, and that means you have time only for one more Assassin's Creed game. How do you plan to continue the story after that?
Well, I mean, Assassin's Creed is extremely rich universe with many potential characters and many potential stories. What we are seeing here in Assassin's Creed Revelations is the ending of one of these narrative arcs, the narrative arc from Ezio and Altair. With 2012, we are going to obviously resume another narrative arc, Desmond, which isn't to mean that we don't have other characters in the brand that will, become more prominent and will become the basis for other games or other, elements in the franchise.
Is the story written by the same story team lead? Because the story for Assassin's Creed 2 was hugely successful from what I think and the user think. So is the story of the Revelations written by the same team?
The way we structure it for Assassin's Creed, it's a very big franchise, right? So the most important thing is to keep everything coherent and everything true to the core values. So we have a brand team whose sole purpose is to make sure that everything fits and relates together into the Assassin's Creed values and the whole, right? For Assassin's Creed Revelations, we have a new writer. Like there was a new writer for Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. By doing this, what we do is we create some interesting variety and freshness always on the brand. If you put a new writer, but you back that up with a strong core team that is true to the values of the brand, you get the best of both worlds.
Okay. And is Cesare Borgia dead? Really dead? Are we going to see him in this game?
Cesare is dead, deader than dead. Yeah.
Okay, because I wasn't sure in the end of the game. Which parts of Istanbul and Turkey will we see in the game?
Istanbul, you will be able to visit the entire city. A bit of the outskirts of the city will not be accessible, but the whole city, the core of the city itself, the Galata side, will be accessible. In terms of other locations in Turkey, we have an underground city in the Cappadocia region. Yeah, so that's another part of Turkey that you can explore.
I think we've seen Efes. I don't know the English. Ephesus.
Okay.
So it wasn't introduced before today. So it's a fully new location for the game, or was it just made for the trailer?
Well, parts of the trailer that you're referring to, we show the journey of getting to Constantinople. A lot of that stuff. The game will focus on the sort of like we start the game where the journey actually begins. So it begins in Masyaf. He knows that he has to go to Turkey, and he gets there. So a lot of that stuff was there for poetic reasons, but we do have other traveling locations other than the main city of Constantinople, Masyaf, and the underground city.
So you are expanding the Brotherhood engine, and from what I read, the mentality behind sending your brothers to different cities for assassinations, it's changing, and you can play a more active role in their success. Does it mean that we can join them in some of those missions for side stories? Because I think Leonardo is out of the picture, so we don't see missions like Leonardo's machines in Brotherhood.
Our entire, the Brotherhood is changing a lot because in Rome, Ezio was creating his own Brotherhood. Here, he gets to Constantinople or Istanbul, and the Brotherhood is already there. They have a leader. It's Yusuf, and Ezio outranks him because he's a mentor. But
does he accept him as a higher assassin?
The assassins, unlike the Templars, who are very, very hierarchy-based, the assassins are more like individualistic. So I think Yusuf respects Ezio a lot as an assassin that has gone through a lot in the legendary. But I think there's a great friendship that grows there, and I think that they both learn as much from the other as one from the other. In terms of what you actually do with the Brotherhood, it does evolve. We have new systems. We have new low-level interactions with the Brotherhood that didn't exist before, and we did revamp the Mediterranean gameplay that you're talking about.
Okay. One last question. The timeline is based on the biggest leader in Ottoman history, Süleyman the Magnificent, yes. But he's still a teenager in this story. How important a role will Süleyman play in the game?
He will play quite an important role, and yes, he is 17 years old, yeah. But you can already tell, even at that young age, the great character that he will become later in his life. And I think he's a real voice of reason and sort of wisdom in the game.
Okay, thank you very much Alex. Evet, Assassin's Creed Revelations'tan şimdilik bu kadar. E3'te görüşürüz.